Join us to talk Florida after this.
Timothy in Lubbock, you're on Sick of 365 Radio. Thanks for your call.
Yeah, how y'all doing? I just wanted to touch on the new Big 12 and say something real quick on what y'all are discussing and talking about when it comes to realignment. What I'm thinking is when I look at the new Big 12 and the teams that are coming in, I really, really think people are sleeping on when it comes to creating a powerhouse. All we talk about is Texas. As a matter of fact, I'm a Florida Gator fan, so I just want y'all to know that.
All right.
But
congrats.
I really think that people they're not really thinking about what can happen if BYU mess around and win 2 or 3 Big 12 championships and maybe 2 national championships, what BYU would do for the perception of the Big 12. Or Houston. If Houston comes and turns into Oklahoma, what Oklahoma's been in the Big 12, because now they get to keep all their resources from North Shore High School and all these different things, people fail to realize you can become great. And now Houston ain't got to worry about being a little school. Now they got the money and the resources to keep all that talent at Houston. And the Cougars can become a powerhouse. See, I'm thinking in a bigger picture than what other people are thinking. They thinking just the traditional powerhouses. But I'm thinking about all it takes is 2 or 3 years of dominance before somebody can start really saying that you're a powerhouse. So that's how I feel about that. I'm going to let y'all get back to it. But I really think people are sleeping on these new teams that's coming in the Big 12.
I think
the last thing is I think it's going to be BYU running the conference, then Houston, and then Baylor and Oklahoma State. And I think that's how it's going to go in the next 5 years. In 5 years, Houston will be running the conference, and I don't even think it's going to be even close. Once they get to keep all their talent, get the money for their resources, and all these different things, I think that's it. That's how we open it.
Appreciate the call from Lubbock.
I appreciate y'all. I just wanted y'all to realize that, and other people, to stop sleeping on these new teams that's coming in and what it can really be bringing to the Big 12 for the future.
Thanks for the call.
Like,
we got to move on.
Talking about Oklahoma and Texas all the time.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
They're still going to lose some battles in Houston, the teams that also do well in Houston. But I get your point, and I agree that now Brigham Young with a couple of national titles. I do agree. Brigham Young's a good football team. Baylor's about to find out all about that. They played last year, competitive game, and now they go to Provo. I do think some of these incoming teams with UCF growing and what they're doing, Cincinnati, what they did last year, I think all 4 of them can bring a positive momentum, no question, to the Big 12.
Well, I mean, I need to see Dana Holgerson going and winning a national championship before I start to get too crazy with believing that that's going to happen soon. But I do agree with you that, yeah, they have all the makings of a program that could really rise to a completely different level that we haven't seen before. Same thing for all the others as well. I mean, that's the point, right? That's the point, is they've all been on the outside looking in. They've all been banging on the door, waiting for an invitation from somebody to prove their worth and to show that, like, hey, if you give us equal footing, we can compete right there with the best of them, and even in some cases compete and be better than them. And so here's their opportunity. This is what they've all been waiting on. They've all been preparing years for, and BYU feels that way. Houston feels that way, and I'm sure the other 2 feel that way as well. So, no, I think we're all with you on Houston. Absolutely, we're all with you on BYU as well. I mean, that's why they were brought in, is to take some of that weakness away from losing Oklahoma and Texas. They bring some strength back to the conference, and they bring some contenders into the conference with a lot of potential. So may not right now in the present seem like as impactful as it will be in 5 or 10 years, but the future is also in mind when you're adding those schools.
All 4 of the new schools are bringing some sort of momentum that they are creating. It doesn't mean you replace Texas and Oklahoma because of their name or who they have been, although Texas for 10 years has not. I like the 4 teams. I think it ended up being the perfect 4 teams to enter the conference to move forward, and we get a little taste of that, of course, this weekend. Texas Tech, Houston, they've been playing. Brigham Young and Baylor, they started playing again last year. We're now joined by Edgar Thomas.